So you're starting a podcast and you realize you need a podcast intro, but what in the world does a podcast intro sound like? Well, from time to time here on the channel, I show some examples of some podcasts we've been working on here at the Podcast Launch Lab to give you an idea, at least jog your mind on what's possible with creating a podcast intro for your podcast. Stick around. So if you've listened to a podcast before, you've heard the beginning of a podcast that probably includes music and some sort of branding and information about the podcast episode and the podcast in general. That's what we refer to as a podcast intro. In this video, I want to show you some examples of some new intros that we've worked on this year for some clients here at the Podcast Launch Lab. Now, this isn't so that you can come up with an idea that's just like it. This is to be able to jog your mind a little bit on what's possible. I can choose the music I want. This is the tone that I want. This is the type of voiceover that I want. This is what I want to say. That's the idea of checking out these examples. So let's head over to a little screen share action, and I'll show you 3 examples of some new podcast intros we've been working on. Maybe 4. Okay, here's example number 1.
Welcome to Prevention Intervention, your go-to podcast about avoiding addiction and becoming the best version of yourself. This podcast is brought to you by the Nova Southeastern College of Allopathic Medicine in collaboration with the Florida Blue Foundation. And now, here's your host.
All right, that's example 1. Example 2, we'll keep it going here. This one's called the Risk Insights for a Risk Management Company.
Welcome to the Risk Insight, a Crisis 24 podcast taking a closer look at the risk and security issues facing organizations around the world today. And now, here's your host, Beau French.
Here's one of my most recent shows called NFTs Suck If You Don't Understand Them. It's a show about the world of NFTs and Web 3.0.
Welcome to NFTs Suck If You Don't Understand Them. Hello, friends. I'm your host, Sebastian Rusk, and this podcast is dedicated to helping you better understand the who, the what, the why, and the where of this brand new world of non-fungible tokens. Let's dive in.
And the final one here, another show of mine, sports show we've got called We Kinda Know Sports.
Welcome to the We Kinda Know Sports podcast. Let's get this party started. What's happening, sports?
So as you can see, different varieties, different styles of music, different pace. Some have more words, some have less words. So it's entirely up to you, but I hope these examples jog your mind to get your podcast intro rolling. So as you can see, not all podcast intros are the same, nor should they be. You want yours to be unique to your specific liking and your specific podcast. So there are no rules. I just like to say that you want some kind of music at the beginning and at least the name of the show so people can identify with you and the brand of the show, maybe even know a little bit about what the podcast and the episode is all about. If you got questions about podcast intros or podcasting in general, please leave a comment below. I respond to each and every one of you lovely people. Here's to a great year of podcasting in 2022. We'll see you next time.